Welcome to Global Pathways. I'm Lena, and today we are conducting a technical investigation into the world's most significant investment migration programs as of 2026. We are moving beyond marketing headlines to analyze the actual legal and financial operating systems of 7 major jurisdictions. Joining me is Tom, the managing director at Pathways.lt. Tom, why is it so dangerous to shop for a residency program based only on the sticker price?
Because the price is only the entry point, Lena. The real cost is the long-term obligation. Some systems want your passive capital, others want your business expertise. If you choose a jurisdiction that doesn't align with your global tax strategy or your professional bandwidth, you're acquiring a liability rather than a strategic asset.
Let's start with the veteran, Portugal. Since they removed the real estate option, how does an investor actually enter the system today?
It's a choice between 2 main paths. The most common is the €500,000 fund route, investing in regulated venture capital. The second is a €200,000 cultural donation.
A €200,000 donation sounds much cheaper. Why doesn't everyone just do that?
Because it's a sunk cost. You're giving that money away to preserve Portuguese heritage. With the €500,000 fund, you at least have the hope of capital return after 6 years.
But with the fund, I don't get to choose where the money goes, right?
Exactly. You have zero management control. You're a silent partner in their economy, and if the fund performs poorly, your capital is at risk.
What about the stay requirement? I hear it's still the biggest draw.
It is. You only need to spend 7 days per year in Portugal. It's perfect for people who aren't ready to move their lives yet.
Let's talk about the passport. Where does Portugal sit in the 2026 rankings?
It is a powerhouse, rank 5 globally, offering visa-free access to roughly 184 destinations.
And the timeline? I hear the backlogs in Lisbon are still quite heavy.
They are. You're looking at 18 to 24 months for the card. But a law passed in 2024 means your 5-year citizenship clock starts the day you apply, not when you get the card.
Is there a language requirement for that passport?
Yes, you must pass a basic A2 level Portuguese exam. It's simple, but it is a mandatory hurdle.
What happens if I want to sell my fund units early?
You can't. You must maintain the investment for the entire duration of the residency until you get your permanent status or passport.
Are there any extra fees for family members?
Yes, government fees in Portugal have increased recently. Expect a few €1,000s per dependent in administrative costs.
So Portugal is for the wealthy person who wants to stay home.
Precisely, it's a passive insurance policy.
How does this compare to our model in Lithuania?
It's passenger versus pilot. In Portugal, you hand over €500,000 to a stranger. In Lithuania, you deploy as little as €14,000 into your own company. You own the UAB, you manage the budget, and you build an asset that earns a 15 to 20% profit margin.
Moving to Greece. They've tiered their pricing now. What does it cost to get in today?
In 2026, it's €800,000 for prime zones like Athens or Mykonos, €400,000 for regional areas, and €250,000 for commercial to residential conversions.
That €250,000 seems like the most logical entry point for many. Is there a catch?
A big one. Properties bought under the conversion route are now banned from short-term rentals like Airbnb. The government wants those homes for locals.
So I can't recoup my investment through tourism?
Not easily. You have to find long-term tenants, which usually means lower yields and more wear and tear on the property.
What about the residency card? Is it fast?
Very fast, usually 4 to 8 months. It is one of the most efficient property-based systems in Europe.
Let's talk passport. Does a Greek residency lead to a Greek passport easily?
No. To get the passport, which is rank 5 184 destinations, you must live in Greece for 7 years.
7 years? What if I only visit once a year?
Then you remain a resident forever. You will never hold the passport. You must stay 183 days a year to qualify for citizenship.
Is there a language test for Greece as well?
Yes, and it's notoriously difficult. You also have to pass a Greek history and culture exam.
What happens if I sell the house?
You lose your residency immediately. The house is your anchor. No house, no visa.
Can I include my parents in the application?
Yes, Greece allows parents and parents-in-law, which is a significant benefit for extended families.
Is there an age limit for children?
Children are covered until age 21, but this can be extended to 24 if they are students.
How does Greece compare to Lithuania?
Greece's dead capital versus Lithuania's live capital. A Greek villa is an expense with taxes and maintenance. For a fraction of the capital, you can run a Lithuanian firm that generates real cash flow and grants you the same EU mobility.
Malta is frequently called the premium choice. Why is it so expensive?
Because you are buying permanent residency for life for up to 4 generations. It's the ultimate family safety net.
I've heard you call it a sunk cost model. Break down the fees for us.
You pay roughly €150,000 in non-refundable fees. That's a government contribution, an NGO donation, and administrative charges.
And I have to have a house as well.
Yes, you must rent for at least €10,000 a year or buy for €300,000 plus and maintain that for 5 years.
What is the timeline for processing?
About 6 to 12 months. Malta has the strictest due diligence in the industry. They will audit your life.
Where does the Maltese passport rank?
It's elite, rank 6 globally 183 destinations, but the residency program doesn't lead to it.
Wait, so I pay €150,000 and I don't get a passport?
Correct. Citizenship is a separate €1,000,000 path. This is strictly for the right to live in Malta forever.
Is there a stay requirement?
0. You never have to go there to keep the card.
Can I work in Malta with this residency?
Not automatically. This is a residency permit, but you would need a separate work permit to be employed locally.
What about tax?
Malta has a complex but favourable tax system for non-domiciled residents, which is why it attracts so many high-net-worth individuals.
Who is this for?
Families who want an English-speaking EU base and don't care about getting their capital back.
How does that sunk cost compare to Lithuania?
In Malta, your €150,000 is gone. In Lithuania, that same €150,000 can acquire a logistics firm earning €50,000 in annual profit. You build wealth instead of spending it.
Italy surprises a lot of people. It's known for slow bureaucracy, but the investor visa is fast?
It's an innovation model. You invest €250,000 into a certified startup or €500,000 into a limited company.
I hear the nulla osta is the secret weapon here?
Yes, that clearance is issued within 30 days. You can have your visa in 3 to 4 months.
Do I have to send the money before I get the visa?
No, you only transfer the funds after the visa is approved. It's very safe for the investor.
What about the passport strength?
Italy is rank 4 globally 185 destinations. It is one of the most prestigious passports on Earth.
What's the catch?
Citizenship takes 10 years of residence, and you're expected to spend most of your time in Italy.
Is there a tax benefit for moving there?
Yes, the flat tax. You pay a fixed €100,000 annual fee on all global income. It's popular for billionaires.
What happens if the startup fails?
Your residency is at risk. You're tied to that specific investment's success.
Can my family join me?
Yes, spouse and dependent children are included under the family reunion rules.
Is there a language requirement for the visa?
Not for the initial residency, but you'll need it eventually if you want the passport.
How does Italy compare to the Lithuanian UAB?
Italy is prestige innovation. Lithuania is operational control. In Lithuania, you own the entity and manage the strategy. Italy is for big earners. Lithuania's 15% corporate tax is built for growing SMEs.
Dubai is trending in 2026. What does the Golden Visa actually provide?
Financial efficiency. For an investment of 2 million AED, approximately $545,000, in property, you receive a 10-year residency.
How fast is the processing?
The fastest on Earth? 2 to 4 weeks. It is incredibly efficient.
And the taxes? That's the big draw, right?
0% personal income tax. It's the ultimate wealth preservation anchor.
Now, the critical question, does this lead to a UAE passport?
No, there is no standardized path to citizenship. You are a permanent guest.
Where does the UAE passport rank, though?
It's a standout success. Rank 5 globally, 184 destinations. But it's discretionary, not transactional.
Is there a stay requirement?
No, you can stay outside the UAE for as long as you want and the visa remains valid.
What about the golden visa for employees?
High-salaried professionals can also qualify, but for investors, property is the most direct route.
Are there any corporate taxes now?
Yes, a 9% corporate tax was introduced recently, but personal income remains tax-free.
What are the downsides?
High cost of living and zero sovereign protection if geopolitics shift. You have no home rights.
Compare this to Lithuania.
UAE is about saving money today. Lithuania is about securing an EU future. In Lithuania, you are on a path to becoming an EU citizen with a social safety.
The American Dream. The EB-5 program. What are the thresholds for 2026?
You invest $800,000 in rural areas or $1.05 million in urban zones.
And I have to create jobs, right?
Yes, 10 full-time jobs. If you don't hit that number, you don't get your green card.
How long is the processing time?
It's a marathon, 2 to 5 years. It is a very slow legalistic process.
What about the passport?
The US is ranked 10 globally, 179 destinations. It has actually slipped below several EU nations.
But the tax situation is the biggest deterrent?
Yes, worldwide taxation, the IRS taxes your global income once you have that green card.
Can I live outside the US?
No, you must make the US your primary home, or they can revoke your status.
What's the risk?
Most people invest in regional centres where they have no control. If the developer fails, you lose your money and your visa. Most people invest in regional centres where they have no control. If the developer fails, you lose your money and your visa.
How does it compare to Lithuania? How does it compare to Lithuania?
The US is a fiscal prison for global earners. Lithuania doesn't touch your global income earned abroad. Lithuania's passport at rank 8 is actually stronger in mobility right now than the US.
We've discussed programs costing millions. How does Lithuania's €28,000 model compete?
Because Lithuania isn't a visa for sale, it's a system for builders. You establish a company, contribute at least €14,000 for 2 to 3 investors, and €28,000 for solo or personally, and keep 100% control.
What about the mobility?
In 2026, Lithuania holds rank 8 globally, 181 destinations, including the US via ESTA.
What does the government want?
Real economic activity. You need a physical office, a viable business plan, and eventually one local employee.
How fast is it?
Very efficient, 2 to 4 months via the digital Migros platform.
And the path to the passport?
Permanent residency in 5 years, citizenship after 10. You're integrated into the EU.
What is the financial outcome?
Our clients build logistics or fintech firms that yield 15 to 20% annual margins.
Is there a language requirement?
Yes, for citizenship, but not for residency. You have time to integrate.
Can I bring my family?
Absolutely. Spouse and children are included under the family reunification process.
What's the corporate tax?
15% standard, but many small companies qualify for a 5% reduced rate.
Final takeaway?
Lithuania is the strategic choice for those who value ROI and control.
We've mapped out the world today, but remember, the best jurisdiction isn't found on a map, it's found in your business plan. Whether you're seeking a luxury anchor in Dubai or a high-performance engine in Vilnius, the only wrong move is standing still.
Well said, Lena. Don't just buy a status, build a legacy.
This was Global Pathways. For a professional assessment of these systems and to see where your business fits best, visit us at Pathways.lt. Until next time, stay strategic.